Well, there you have it. Yet another SmackDown in the books. Was it good? What happened? And most importantly, did it make you have to buy Survivor Series on Sunday? We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more right here, right now, with your copious SmackDown review on Dead on Dave Productions. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, Dead on Dave. And if you noticed, I'm not live. That's right. This has been a pre-recorded message, but that's okay. You see, I got SmackDown a little bit early because I watched the Australian version. Yes, I'm over here in Germany, and quite frankly, I've been playing far too much Fallout 4 lately, and I'm exhausted. So, getting the early edition of SmackDown gave me the perfect opportunity to do this old school and give you a match-by-match, segment-by-segment review and breakdown of SmackDown. Now, I'm sorry I'm not there to take your calls, but I think that you'll find this to be even better. All of the great stuff that you want to see with no bullshit involved. Should be a lot of fun. Very excited about that. But here's a dirty little secret. I haven't watched SmackDown yet. No, because like I said, we're doing match-by-match, segment by segment. So let's stop gilding the lily. Let's get right into it and let's start watching SmackDown. I'm going to be calling out times, and those times will be without advertisements, without commercials. So if you want to follow along, if you want to hit the old DVR back, you can go ahead and follow back exactly what I'm going through, and we can have a good old time. So let's stop talking about it. Let's start doing it. Let's get to the fucking. The foreplay is over. SmackDown begins. Let's do it. Let's see what happened on the final SmackDown before Survivor Series. Let's go. All right, so 3 minutes in, and the first thing I noticed, The Miz is opening the show. Oh, God. So before we even see what happens with this segment, which I'm sure is going to break down in some kind of Donnybrook and set up a tag team match for later on, because that's kind of SmackDown's move. Well, it's kind of WWE's move. I just want to comment on The Miz. I think I'm starting to like this new role. Look, he is not taking up a roster spot as a wrestler anymore as much. He's not having a lot of matches, and that may not be such a bad thing. I'm kind of liking Miz. I hate The Miz. Let me let me reiterate. I am not a Miz guy. I'm not a fan of The Miz, but him just being in this talk show host role isn't necessarily a bad thing. I kind of dig it, and I think it kind of fits him. It kind of works for him, and it allows him to kind of rebuild his character a little bit to not being an over-the-top crazy heel. He can kind of find ways to transition back to normalcy, and then when he does start having matches, because you know he's going to wrestle again, he's not that old, it might have a little bit more oomph, a little more impact. You know, someone call him out for being the failed wrestler turned television segment host, you know, and it could be something. I don't know if there's anything there. We don't know yet, but I think there is something possible there building. We'll see. What do you guys think? I think that's an interesting first thought with The Miz. Or are you in the camp where you just want Miz off your television show? Just get him off my TV. I want him gone. I don't want him here at all. Because I understand that as well. All right, let's get back to it. Let's see, because Kevin Owens just interrupted The Miz, who does not look happy to be interrupted. So let's find out, and let's see how this shindig breaks down, shall we? Okay, 15 minutes and 36 seconds in. Was that the greatest episode of Miz TV of all time? I think it was. That was great. I hate these opening segments. I hate these promos. I hate Miz TV. But this was great. This was hysterical. From Zeb Coulter coming out and being a douche nozzle, being very funny, by the way, which he's not been doing lately. But he was great. He had some great stuff with Kevin Owens. That was asked if he ice skated over Lake Michigan one night to get here. That was great. He yammered a little bit, but you know what? I see an end game for Mex America now. Kevin Owens was fantastic. He had a great line against Alberto Del Rio. You know who missed you while you were gone? Nobody. It was great. The Miz was interacting with everyone fantastically. Dean Ambrose was fantastic. He comes out and does his thing. Roman Reigns is not even that bad because they limited him, didn't let him say anything. And then R-Truth comes out and absolutely steals probably the entire night. And when he starts talking about how he's going to win the title and he's going to cut through all four of these guys like hot knives through butter and all of that, it was hilarious. And he looked really cool too. The glasses, the little bit of stubble, the different outfit tonight. I thought he looked really good. I thought it was a really cool thing to do with him. This is how you get R-Truth over. Because people love when R-Truth is crazy. Crazy truth is the best truth. The best truth. And that was great. I loved what he did. And then, Truth, you're not even in the tournament, man. I'm not. I mean, how good is that? How good is that? It was good. It was very funny. And then, of course, The Miz getting his face punched off by Dean Ambrose. I always like that. So, for opening segment, it got me. It got me interested. It got me interested in this tournament. Look, we all have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen in the Survivor Series tournament. I think we all know that it's going to be Dean and Roman, and one of those two is probably going to win. More than likely, Roman. I'm starting to lean towards Dean. But the WWE has an interesting opportunity here. If they so choose, they can pull an audible here and have Kevin Owens walk out as the champion. Now, hear me out. Hear me out why this would work and why it's a really good idea. It's very simple. You have a great opening match. You open the night with Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens, and you let them absolutely tear each other apart. No shenanigans, no bullshit. Dean he gets beat at the end of the match, or maybe you can have it happen in another weird way, like when he beat himself with a television and weird things. Maybe you can do that. But Kevin Owens wins, and then Dean walks out frustrated, and then eventually he's the guy who cost Roman Reigns the title to Kevin Owens. So what this accomplishes, it gives you a new fresh champion that most people want to see. Kevin Owens now holds the Intercontinental and WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He can go in and feud with virtually anybody. Sorry, got distracted by my wife, who is being the loudest person in the world. Yeah, so you have Kevin Owens as the World Heavyweight Champion and the Intercontinental Champion, so you have him with all this power. And then he can feud with just about anybody. You don't have to have a set feud the next night because you already have something very interesting to set up a new number one contender somewhere down the line. You've got a built-in feud with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, which could be absolutely epic, and it could work on a massive scale. And the cool thing is you do it now without the title to see exactly how into it people are going to be. I think that might be the best way to go. Now, look, you can always just give the title to Reigns at Survivor Series because it's Survivor Series. It's not the Royal Rumble. It's not WrestleMania. So it can be like a trial run for Roman Reigns. But I don't know if giving it to him early is going to be too detrimental to his career when it ultimately fails. And I think it will. I think it will ultimately fail, and that is a worry. So that's how I would book this. That's how I would do it. I would have Kevin Owens actually win and play the frustration angle with Dean Ambrose and have him go heel. I think that would be the best way. So let me know what you guys think. What did you think of the opening segment tonight, man? Put that in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about that. I really enjoyed the shit out of it. I kind of feel dirty saying that. Ugh. But let's get back to it and see what happens next on Smack Digging It Down. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we're going to 21 minutes and 44 seconds in. I was wrong earlier when it comes to the times. You don't have to fast forward through the commercials because it appears that I got the commercials. I downloaded I'm watching the Australian version or maybe even the Canadian version that has the commercials in it. So there you go. 21 minutes and 44 seconds. You can go right to it. If you have it on DVR, it'll be with the commercials. So there you go. Perfect. The Miz is about to say some stuff. He looks pissed off. Should be good. Let's find out what happens. Shall we? All right, 25 minutes and 45 seconds in, and when the Miz does have a match with Cesaro, and for some reason, they have it a quick little nothing match. I don't know what was the point of that. Cesaro, who's been hotter than anybody else and been really doing great with matches, and you have the Miz, who really could use a good match, you know, to kind of get people talking about him. They don't do that. They have some quick aggression by the Miz, and then Cesaro locks in a crossface really quick and gets Miz the tap. I think they made everyone look really, really weak there, and Cesaro busted his face open to boot. Then Cesaro's walking to the back, and then Stardust interrupts with the Ascension, so his little motley crew comes out, and they block the way of Cesaro, but then they walk right past him. So they're continuing to tease Cesaro and Stardust. Now it looks like that program could be going forward. That's not good for Cesaro, and I don't feel like it's a very good reward considering what he's accomplished, what he's been doing lately in the ring, especially during the tournament. I don't think it's a good move, but that's WWE, man. They just continue to just toe the line with the same shit. And I'm a little bit agitated by it. This kind of bugs me. I think they had an opportunity here tonight, and once again they dropped it. It's not to a shock of anybody. This does not surprise your boy one iota. But it is frustrating, you know? It is frustrating, and it's unfortunate. But it is what it is. That's what it comes down to. So let's see what happens. Looks like we're going to get a six-man tag with Stardust and the Ascension versus, I believe they said, Neville and the Dudley Boys. So let's see how that goes. That should be interesting. Look, I'm all for the Ascension being in matches. I think that's the only way they're going to build them back up. I think one of the biggest mistakes that they had was they had them beat the New Age Outlaws, and then they didn't wrestle for 2 months. How does that work? Doesn't make any sense. So let's get back to it and see what happens on SmackDown. I missed opportunity, but I didn't think it was terribly terrible. It was bad, but it wasn't terrible. It doesn't derail the first 25 minutes of the show too much, though. So at least I don't think it does. Let's find out what happens the rest of the show. Here we go. Okay, 38-21 into this match here. The good, more than that, 7-8 minutes into the match. Neville has been dominated by the Ascension and Stardust. Really good action out of Neville, too. But I'm stopping in the middle of this match because something dawned on me. Something that probably should have dawned on me a very long time ago. The Dudleys get into the match and they do their what's up thing. Do you think it's ever come across Devon's mind that for basically the past, 20 years, his most famous thing that he's done is putting his head on somebody else's dick? It's what he does every single match. And it's the thing he's most over for. Do you think that keeps him up at night? Do you think he looks at his checks and he's like, I got this check for putting my head on a dick. Putting my head in a groin is why I got this check. It's weird thoughts like that that keep me up at night. It's like thinking about, does a cheetah ever pull a hamstring? It's just weird things like that. Yeah, that's a Sam Kinison joke. Oh well, get over it. It's just things like that keep me up, and it just makes me wonder, does Devon ever think about where this money came from? Look at this money. My head was on a man's dick tonight. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to the match. Decent little match. Nothing egregious here except for a little botch by Mr. Bubba Ray on Victor of the Ascension. But he recovered from it nicely. So let's get back to it and see how this match ends. 39-55, and apparently I just completely put the voodoo whammy curse on that match, because as soon as I said that one little botch wasn't a big deal, the rest of the match was botches. It was only about another minute and a half, but it was botch after botch after botch. Very weird little exchange there with Stardust hitting a very telegraphed disaster kick that Bubba Ray just really did not sell very well. He just hit very strange. And then on the outside, he barely got a foot on Devon, and Devon threw himself into the barrier. Then Neville awkwardly throws himself over the top rope. The spot was supposed to look good, but he didn't hit it very well. And then maybe the ugliest 3D we've ever seen. It's very possible this was the worst looking Dudley Death death drop that we've ever seen. That was just bizarre. A very weird, almost rushed looking angle. I don't know. It's just my thing. Like with SmackDown, it's not a live show. You're going to possibly be live when you get back to USA. It's about content. You have the option to refilm certain things. This is one of those things I would have refilmed because that was a train wreck. That was a train wreck. That last 2 minutes of that match was an absolute horror show. So, or maybe I'm being too hard. You guys let me know in the comment section below. But let's get back to it and see what's happening. It looks like we're getting a Wyatt situation next on SmackDown. Let's see how it goes. 49 minutes in, and no, we did not get a Wyatt situation, just a Wyatt recap with The Undertaker. No, the next segment, the next match is actually Prince Pretty, the king of Cuteville. I forgot his name. Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze is out, and he cuts a really good promo. He shows some good mic skills, talks about the Uggos and everything, and he works Summer Rae in there, who actually makes a little dick joke. I liked it. Not that the joke was little. No. It was actually a little dick joke. Hey, you get it? Because it was about Dolph Ziggler's little cock. That's funny. That's great stuff. That's great stuff. You'll only get that here. You're only going to get that here with Dead on Dave. Anyway, so yeah, we're about to get a match between Zack Ryder and Mr. Gorgeous Tyler Breeze. Let's see that match and see how it goes. I love Tyler Breeze, by the way. If you haven't noticed, I am a Tyler Breeze guy. I love seeing him wrestle. I think he's fantastic. So let's see what he does tonight. 52 minutes in, we didn't get a very long match. No, Dolph Ziggler comes out and trashes the VIP section a little bit. Something I noticed in the match, we talked about the audio in the in-house stuff a lot recently. Over the last couple of years, WWE's made a lot of changes to how they record the audio. And now, tonight, it was very weird. Some mics are turned down, but I think they have directional mics down on the floor. And it almost sounds like an echo within the building. It's just very bizarre the way Summer Rae's voice was being picked up, the way we're hearing things. It's just, I don't understand why they've gone to this new audio thing, because they want to censor the crowds so much, and it doesn't make any sense. It really is annoying. But yeah, regardless. Zack Ryder got some offense in, but it didn't take long for Tyler Breeze to dispatch him, and he unveiled a new finisher tonight. I don't know if they want to, if they're just like getting rid of the supermodel kick. I have no idea. And what was the other move that he had? The money shot. That's why. No, the money shot was Val Venus. What was his? The beauty shot. The money shot. That was Val Venus's A Better Time, when a porn star can use a finisher called the money shot. How good was that? That was so good. The beauty shot was Tyler Breeze's, but now that's been replaced with the Unprettier, which is kind of apropos in a lot of ways, because it was always called the Unprettier by Christian, and now Edge and Christian both use the Unprettier, but Christian used it more. And then he ended up naming it the Kill Switch Engage, something like that. Stupid. And now it's been brought back by Tyler Breeze, and it kind of works out because the name works. So there you go. Tyler Breeze looks like to be using the Unprettier. As soon as he gets the victory, Dolph storms the ring and beats the crap out of him, then super kicks his face off on the outside. And it looks like we will be getting those two at Survivor Series, which should be a very entertaining match. So there you have it. Maybe even a pre-show situation. We'll see. Let's see what's next. It looks like we're getting a Wyatt situation. We're going to get the Wyatt response and final message to Taker and Kane, the brothers of destruction. Bray Wyatt, do you really think that you can control the darkness? I would walk through the fires of hell, Bray Wyatt, to get my Metamucil. Anyway, let's get back to it and let's see what the Wyatts have to say. Are they going to reveal who the two members that are going to take on the Brothers of Destruction will be? Let's find out. Here we go. An hour and 6 minutes in, and we got the Wyatts out there, and Bray is talking about who should be the ones to take out the legacy of Taker and Kane. And he goes through each one of his disciples And it really becomes apparent to me that the only one who talked was Braun Strowman. And so it really seems like he's going to be the guy, which makes a lot of sense. And I think that's the right way to go. Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt should be the two who takes on Undertaker and Kane. Of course, not being satisfied with just that, we got an Undertaker and Kane promo on the big screen. Pretty effective one, too. And then it got hokey, because that's what they do. I mean, Kane burning the mask was a nice touch and all that, and I thought Taker gave a really good promo. But then all of the damn weird druids wearing the sheep masks fell down for some reason, and it was bizarre. Then Bray just starts laughing. This whole thing, I just want it to be over with. Please, God, just let it be over with. It's paying homage to The Undertaker in 25 years. I get that, but it's not serving any other purpose. I don't think it's helping anybody. It's not helping anyone's cause. Certainly not Bray Wyatt, because I don't see a way where they actually beat Taker and Kane, because you can't have them continue to lose. Right? You can't have Taker lose again. That doesn't make sense, but hey, regardless, we'll see, and we'll see how this ends up. Should be quite interesting one way or the other. Not the way I would have booked it. 2-on-2 I don't like, but meh. Let's see how the rest of SmackDown goes, shall we? 1 hour and 11 minutes in, and they just recapped the whole situation with Paige and Charlotte, with Paige making the remark about Charlotte's dead brother. Now, there's been a lot discussed about this very topic, and did WWE go too far? Did Paige go too far? And it's surprising to me how many people, legends in the industry, have a problem with this, especially with some of the things that WWE's done over the years and what professional wrestling has done over the years. Why is it that dead people, especially when there is a family member involved, it's so automatically out of vogue, and it's so taboo, and it's just so disgusting? And well, I'll answer that question, because it just is. It felt gratuitous. Look, I think things like this can be done in a way where it's tasteful and it doesn't seem like it's going to be damaging. But this felt damaging, and it felt like it was just gratuitous, because they had nothing else to build this feud. So they went with the most heinous thing that could be said, and it seems to have backfired. Ric Flair coming out and kind of not taking shots at WWE, but stating that he didn't know that the segment was going to happen, and then basically stating that Charlotte's hands are tied because it's not like that she could say no at this point in her career, which, by the way, I think is absolute horseshit, Rick. And I hope somebody plays this for him, because Ric Flair is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. I've had the privilege and pleasure of meeting him a few times. Amazing man. Everything. He's one of my favorites of all time. He's my number 2 favorite wrestler in the history of the game. Plain and simple. That being said, what you said was absolute bullshit, because principle, when it comes to your family, goes above everything else. I don't think that she would be punished that much for simply stating to WWE, that's my brother. He just died a horrible, horrible way. We're not doing this angle. Fire me if you want. WWE would get hammered. In this climate, they'd get hammered. Now, if this was the Attitude Era and Charlotte would have said, no, we're not doing that. No, I'm sorry. Yes, repercussions would certainly be on her way. But in this climate, the way the world is now, and this PG product and all of that, if all she had to do was simply say, no, this isn't happening, I think you guys can understand why I have reservations. And if the WWE says absolutely anything, or God, for some bizarre reason, were to fire her over it or strip her of the belt because of it, because she wouldn't play ball, she would own them. She would own them. It would be over for the WWE. The amount of bad publicity that they would get over that would rival anything else. And it just makes no sense what Ric Flair said on his podcast, Woo Nation. So I have to call bullshit, oh great one, because I think we know better than that in this climate, that Charlotte could have said no. And that's why I think that ultimately she was okay with this, and that's why I give the segment a pass. That's why I'm not going to beat up on the segment too much, because I don't think you really can. because she was involved in it, and I just don't buy the fact that she couldn't have said no. I think that's ridiculous. It's true in the Attitude Era, but not today. That is not a true statement. It's bullshit. It's an excuse because somebody didn't want to step up. Now, that's if you have it's an unreasonable fear to have in this climate because it just simply doesn't. It's something that wouldn't have flown. It really wouldn't have. WWE punishing her for not wanting to talk about her dead brother in that context. It's ridiculous. But regardless, that's what we have, and hopefully a really good match with Paige and maybe a more aggressive Charlotte, and the Charlotte that we want to see will kind of salvage this whole thing. And with any luck, it'll get us to what people are clamoring for, and that's Sasha and Becky and some of the others, and hopefully we'll get more of that. We'll see. Speaking of Charlotte, she's about to have a match with Brie Bella, who's getting sluttier. Her outfits are getting sluttier. Her boobs are getting more pressed together. That's very weird considering there was an episode of Total Divas where they played the entire storyline of Daniel Bryan asking Brie to not dress so sexy. And ever since then, her costumes are getting sluttier and sluttier. I find that weird. But hey, let's see what Charlotte does to Brie, and hopefully it'll be a decent match. Let's check it out. 1 hour and 16 minutes in, we got the conclusion to Brie Bella and Charlotte. And to Charlotte's credit, man, she's really handled this entire situation like a champion. She did a really good job with Jonathan Coachman on ESPN. I thought she handled everything very, very well. She hasn't, to her credit, she has not bitched or moaned or complained or whined or nothing. She's just going and doing her job. And tonight, I think she did a very good job with just an outgunned opponent, someone who just does not bring out the best in anybody, and that's Brie Bella. But I think Charlotte did a really good job of showing her athleticism and why we like her so much. Let's face it. I like her, and I think she's always had this polarizing thing about her. No matter how good she's done down in NXT or whatever, she doesn't get these huge reactions, only when she woos. And that is troubling, I think, for WWE. It's her epic matches. Yes, they get a lot of credit, but her just in general, I don't know if people resent her because she's a Flair. I have no idea, but it's going to be harder getting her over than I think they were anticipating. They weren't really expecting it to be this difficult, but it is. The crowd was dead for this match, and in general, they are dead for Charlotte. And it's just kind of weird, but no matter. Charlotte hits her ugly ass spear and then gets the victory with a submission with the figure 8. Now, why do I emphasize the word submission? Well, that's because Booker T shows once again how horrible he is at his job, because Charlotte slaps on the figure 8, Brie taps out, and Booker says, count to 100. You can count to 100, man. What? It's a submission, Booker. You don't count with submissions. What's the matter with you, Booker T? Oh, God, he's horrible at his job. And King just makes it worse. Jerry Lawler is just incoherently rambling, and that's coming from an incoherent rambler. Lord knows I ramble all the time incoherently, but Jesus Christ, King. Ugh. Anyways, let's get back to it and see what happens next. I believe we're going to get Paige saying something here, I believe, but I wanted to comment on that first before we got to that. So let's get to it. 1 hour, 18 minutes in, we got a very unremorseful Paige, and I kind of like that. I got to be honest. I like that she was unapologetic, and she says that's what a champion does. And she actually lambasted Charlotte for flying off the handle over a battle of words. That was not bad handling of that situation. Paige is very good at what she does. She's still very young, and that does come through quite a bit. But given time, when Paige entering her prime, well, she hasn't even come close to entering either on the mic or in the ring. She's like 23, if that. When she really gets to the 26, 27-year range, oh, that's going to be a bad woman. That is going to be a bad woman. And I'm you know what? I'm looking forward to the match. I want to see Charlotte and Paige. I think it should be a very, very good match. And now with this little bit of extra sauce on it, maybe it'll be an epic encounter. Maybe that'll be the case. Maybe this will be the first epic women's championship match or Divas championship match on the WWE roster that we've had in a very long time. maybe that's a good possibility. Maybe that's the whole plan all along. We'll see. Should be pretty damn good. So possibly this whole damn thing is effective. Maybe it's not as crass and terrible as we all thought. Who knows? Let's find out, man. Let's see what happens next. We got some more show left of SmackDown, so let's see what is crack-a-lackin' there. 1 hour and 25 minutes in, we got the New Day. Get the horns up, folks. Get the horns up for the New Day. Love the New Day. They were hilarious as always. Man, you could really tell the crowd was turned down at this point because they were responding to the crowd like they could hear them live, like they were loud. But we don't hear it on television. It came off very silent, and that's not good for the New Day. We need to hear these crowd reactions, especially in this situation when the New Day, that their whole job is to elicit response, and they do a very good job of it. So really bad audio. Production value dropping for WWE. I don't like that. It doesn't quite give you eye cancer like Ring of Honor's production does, but there is a disclaimer. If you look really carefully, there's a disclaimer on every Ring of Honor broadcast. Prolonged exposure to Ring of Honor production values will give you eye cancer. It's science. Don't get mad at Dead on Dave for saying it. It's science. It's science. Anyway, I love Ring of Honor. I look forward to your letters. New Day going to do their thing here. It looks like it's going to be Big E versus, as he calls him, Kalisto. And he let him know that size does matter. He's so creepy. And it's just so good. That's another dick joke. That's 2 dick jokes in the same night. Nice job, WWE. More cock jokes from WWE. All right, let's see this match and see how it goes. It should be interesting. Here we go. 1 hour and 29 minutes in, and we do get a quick squash. Well, not quick, but a squash match for Big E. Not really because of Big E. It's because of what the New Day does. They get the numbers and they get victories, and that's exactly what happened here. New Day then, Big E, I should say, did a very weird thing. It looked like he farted on Kalisto after the match. Yeah, it looked like a fart. It looked like because he definitely put his ass near Kalisto's face and chest area and then fanned. He fart casted. That's what he did. He fart casted on to Kalisto. Quick story on the fart cast. Most of you guys know that I was in the United States Army for 9 years. And during my time there, I got hurt a few times. But one time it was not during a war situation. And it was during a training mission. We were actually doing PT. We were playing company level soccer. And I was a goalie. Big fat goalie. And and I had this fake Irishman. His name was Miskovich. Yeah. And he acted Irish. He was not Irish. He was a very fake human being. People actually heard him. When he got drunk, he would actually drop the accent. It was bizarre. Anyway, so this guy, he slide tackles me. A goalie. I'm in the net too. He slide tackles me, hurts my knee. Anyway, my Captain David Brines at the time, great guy, one of my favorite people ever actually. As I'm getting taken out on a stretcher, he comes over and he Hadouken fart casts me. Now what that means is he made his hands like this and he farted right into that nice little cup here. And then shot it at me, Hadouken style. One of the greatest things that has ever happened to me was seeing that invention. It was hysterical. So wherever you are, I believe he's at least a major now. Major David Bryan's I love that guy. Hadouken, motherfucker. So there you go, a little fart casting story. Because I'm sure I can hear it. What the fuck's a fart cast? We're nearing the end of SmackDown, so at this time, make sure, if you have yet to do so, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 1,600 subs. You guys can make it happen. Get me there, folks. We got a big weekend now. I know some of you guys are probably upset at the fact that I didn't go live and all that, and you didn't get to call in tonight. I get that, But remember, you got Dead on Dave live Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Woohoo! You can call in there. We're going to do the entire rundown of Survivor Series, so it should be a lot of fun. But I'll do that plug again here in a minute. Let's finish up SmackDown and wrap this biatch up, shall we? 1 hour 35 in, we get a quick little segment between Miz, Paige, and Maria Menounos doing an interview with them on E! I don't know if it actually aired on E! I have no idea. But they just had Paige play up the cunt role, man. She got super cunty in this one. And I kind of like it. And she walks off the set at one point. And The Miz at one point goes, Paige. And it seemed very real. That was cool. That wasn't too bad. But who cares about Santa's little friggin' helper? Anyway, let's get back to it. Let's see what happens with the rest of Smack Diggity Down. 1 hour, 37 minutes in, we get a quick tease over what is to come between Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. I don't know if they're going to do a turn or not. They just made a mutual agreement that they're going to jump off that bridge together when they get to it. That bridge being them fighting each other, if that so happens. So that basically tells us that is what's going to happen. And Kevin Owens has no chance, and neither does Del Rio. He never did, but Kevin Owens kind of does. But it's going to be very interesting to see what they decide to do. Look, we know what's going to happen, but to see how it's executed, that's the last big mystery. So here we go. Main event time. Kevin Owens, Alberto Del Rio versus 2/3 Shield. Let's see how the match goes. So there you have it. That's the end of the show, kids. Not bad. Look, the main event was the main event. We expected the match to basically go exactly the way that it went. A lot of action, everybody getting in their spots. Really nothing bad to talk about, but nothing spectacular either. What we're going to get out of Roman Reigns is what we're going to get out of Roman Reigns. His Superman punch out of nowhere is becoming like the RKO, and it's boring, and who gives a shit. Dean Ambrose and his stupid little flip rebound thing that I hate. Kevin Owens even had some weird moments in the match, and Del Rio is Del Rio. So it was just a matter of how they were going to end the match, and they decided to go with a quadruple count out. Well, actually, it was only 2 men who got counted out because they were the only legal men. And then more action after the fact with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose eventually standing tall and then going over and taking a look at the prize together. So extreme foreshadowing to end the show. Why not just tell us the damn what happens now? Why foreshadow so hard? Why make it this on the nose? But here's the thing. That's us saying that. That is us real wrestling fans saying that. The kids love this shit. That's what... And I'm sure at that age, 9, 10, 11 years old, we would have loved it too. And that's the thing that I always try to keep in mind. So that's why I'm not harsher on these things. But for me, yeah. Here's the thing. If that inevitably is the route they want to take, where it's only the focus on the kids and we really stop mattering, then how long before we stop watching? And then at that point, then WWE's in trouble. Because while that kid demographic is big, we still make up a big portion of sales, so we may not be buying the merchandise like we once did. I think merchandise is probably very heavily favored to the kids, but they will definitely miss our presence if they alienate us completely. But we'll see what happens. A lot of foreshadowing. Interesting SmackDown all in all. I want to know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comment section. I want to know your rating for SmackDown this week. Tell me what you guys think, because I want to know. I thought it was effective. I thought it was effective going in to SmackDown or to Survivor Series. I don't think there was anything epic as far as matches. We did get some good matches on Raw, not so much here. So there it is. So I give it a 6.5. I think that's a fair rating. Maybe a little generous, but it wasn't a bad SmackDown by any stretch. It was very effective. So that's what I'm going to go with. I had some moments I really did enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed this show. This was a little bit different. I understand that some people are going to be upset at the fact that I didn't go live. The reality is I was exhausted, and I know I need to sleep while you guys are watching this video, hopefully, and you just watch SmackDown. It's now somewhere past 4 a.m. here in Germany, and I should be sleeping. Hopefully I am actually asleep right now, because Lord knows I need it. With everything that's going on this weekend, we got a lot. We got the Dead on Dave live on Saturday. Viewer questions, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a Survivor Series prediction show. And then we have Survivor Series on Sunday, which will be a lot of fun. I'll be live directly after Survivor Series. And then, of course, Raw the next night. So I got a lot coming up, so I need to get this sleep. So I hope you guys are understanding the fact that your boy needed to sleep. But here it is. SmackDown review is here for you guys. Let me know what you think of this format. I know I've been doing these segment by segment, match by match breakdowns for a while, the way that I do them. I don't do them as much because now I do everything primarily live. I want to know what you guys think. Do you prefer this, or do you like the fact that when I go live and take your questions and calls for every show? Let me know what you guys think. I really want to get your feedback. Other than that, that's all I got. Thank you guys for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Make sure you check out everything that's going on within the community. And, of course, that is In the Crease with Tommy C and Shot from the Point. On Shot from the Point, the channel on YouTube. It's hockey. It's amazing. I'm there a lot, and it's a lot of fun. But even when I'm not, Tommy C and his boys hold it down. A lot's going on in the world of sports, and so you can expect some shows to be coming up to cover that, including probably the season ender, if you could call it that, of Touch 'em All, the baseball show. Huffman and myself, we're going to talk about a lot of things. All the awards are basically given out except the MVP, which there is absolutely no drama for that, at least in the National League, and really the American League too. I don't think there's a lot of drama here. I think it's pretty obvious it's going to be Donaldson and Mr. Bryce Harper, but we'll see how it goes. Other than that, that's all I got. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Go buy a Dead on Dave t-shirt, man. Go to www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com and go buy yourself a Dead on Dave t-shirt, because why the hell not? Rep your favorite fat man. Also, if you feel like supporting the channel, go ahead and donate to the channel right in the description box of this video. Donate 702-751-2902. And those donations help keep the Skype and other things going on. So very much appreciative. Thank you very much. Other than that, that's all I got. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Peace. Every so often, a musician emerges that changes the landscape of their genre, changes the definition of what is, alters the rules set by those who came before. That musician brings with him music that shatters the image of the status quo, music that transforms, music that ushers in new inspiration, new ideas, and new life. That musician and that music is here.
And the best in the biz.
Evil T is what up?
Best in the world. December 17th, 2015. Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah presents Black Mozart.